Corbin, Kip, welcome back. Hello. We are here. We're back at it again today. Good morning. Good to see you. I woke up a little bit later today, but I went to bed a little bit later. Leo, spending 4 months in your gut. Leo, you could spend forever in there and you could become part of me and we can work together all the time. I'd be down for that. Perfect. Sounds like you just woke up. Well, just a little bit, but it's okay. I grabbed a triple chocolate muffin. I had some chips and salsa, and now I'm currently enjoying my energy drink, so I should be good to go, as far as I know, right? But there we go. I'm getting everything set up right now. Double, triple, quadruple checking. Morning voice Kip. Hi. If only I can hold this more often. You drinking the salsa? We always drink the salsa. Always consume and imbibe the barbecue sauce. But yes, good morning, you two. Good to see you. Good to have you here. I hope you all slept well and got a good chance to just enjoy yourselves yesterday. I felt like yesterday was a good reflection sort of day, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Lycanthrope Michael. Salutations and hello there. Hello, Mike. How are you doing, Mike? Mike, I hope you get a chance to watch this later. You just woke up at 3 p.m.? Well, my usual wake-up time is 4 p.m. You would know that, Rezi. But, having been over there at MagFest in Washington, D.C., you know, time zones and all that. I'm going to sleep at 7 a.m. now. Oh, that's the real one. Okay, bye. Okay, bye, Rezi. Smell you later, nerd. Yesterday was put away the Christmas decorations day for me. Don't put away the Christmas decorations, just turn them off. Obviously, leave the tree up all year. It's fine. It's not a fire hazard by any means whatsoever. Rye, coming with an awoo. Hello, Rye. Good to see you. I'm doing well, though I'm going to stay for a short while. Yes, I even saw you posted these on YouTube. I have. I felt compelled to start documenting, especially this game. It's a great one to start with. I think this is so fitting of a game and an experience. Like I thought, Michael, I am going to task you at some point later on for us to go through this game together. I would love to watch you play this on stream with everybody else. I think it'd be very cute. I may or may not have listened in while lying in bed before sleep. Real. Well, I'm sorry you decided to listen to this game before falling asleep. Good thing you weren't paying close attention, or else, God forbid, you might have woken up to a nightmare. I have a friend who's really into furry visual novels. I showed him this and he's all excited. Ah, thank you, Leo. Spread the word. I'm a huge visual novel enjoyer myself. If you didn't notice, my old setup screen and my old setup used to be a visual novel, but I have to reset that up, and I am too lazy to be bothered to do all that coding once again. It may or may not have kept me up a bit. It's okay. Michael, we're friends here. We're all friends here. You? Me keeping you up? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm going to lurk. Hope to see you tonight. Yeah, I'll see you guys later for community night. I'll come around. Jax may even come around. He's been excited. He's not excited, but I'm going to say he's excited to come around. The king stands before Leo, and you get mink, mink, mink. Yeah. All right, we're going to let the ads play through so we can get those out of the way. Jax, it's J-A-X. Corbin, get it right, Mr. Ecliptics. 43%, I'll take it. J-A-K-S, it's J-A-X. I'm killing you. You're dead, Corbin. You're dead, Ecliptics. Ecliptus. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let those ads play through, and then once the ads are done, we shall get started with the game as per usual. So this will be really fun. I'm going to see if I can get past the joke ending, because apparently there's got to be a joke ending. I haven't researched it. I haven't looked up anything about this game, but I'm going to assume that's a joke ending. If only I can give you steppies. Yeah, Jack from Jack and Daxter, though. Yeah. Kind of crazy, kind of silly, I know. But yes, we do have our community night tonight. That is going to be with lovely Corbin, and it's going to be also with our one and only Coda. So, community night's coming up. I just want to get a little bit of a stream time in, as I usually like to do, and then post that. We'll raid off into one of those two. We'll figure it out as we go, right? But yeah, so we get to enjoy some time. I don't see the ads playing. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna give it like a minute and see if something happens. If nothing happens, I'm just gonna go right into it. I'm gonna be silly like that. Remember, stream is not sponsored by NordVPN. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Glad I checked to see what you were streaming before messaging you. Yeah, Mike. That TikTok. There it is. There's the ad break. Alright, we're gonna let the ad break play through. It'll be 1 minute and 30. Then I will see you guys in just a second and we'll get right into it. Till then, I'm gonna continue sipping my energy drink for those of you who are still here. How you doing? I'm doing amazing, actually. Doing very good. Justin, aloha. Yippee, hello. Path, I see you there. No sponsorship? Oh, the humanity. Oh, I'll get sponsored. Someday, somehow, I'll get sponsored by something other than Rogue Energy. Use code BANANA for whatever benefits you get. Hugs Kitsune. When will you be at FWA? I have no idea. I'll manifest as I do. I don't know what I'm doing. I just show up. Hi Pathfinder. Oh, I'm excited. So we're definitely going to try to get past the joke ending. I have to go a little bit back on the save and see other choices we could be making that could be the right choice. That possibly won't get us killed. If you need a room still, let me know. Didn't I say I do possibly have a room with Mr. Jackson? I swear I said that like 2 times now, Pathfinder. FWA. Imagine, like in Mike, you don't go to FWA, your cardboard cutout does. Alright, ad breaks are over. Let's load up the game. Okay, so we actually, you know what, right here I think would be a good one, because I think we can get past. Yeah, let's see how we can do. Alright. Do I tell the truth? Well, we reacted with skepticism, my bad. And we reacted with perception. I don't know if the controlling thing would be good. And, well, I'm starting to forget. But, let's see. Currently, one of these choices got us killed. Kind of funny, I know. Exactly, you might see me there then. Yeah, me in quotations. I want to react edgy because I think it'd be kind of funny. Let's start it off right. You know, you really need to make up your mind about whether you want me involved in this or not. Yesterday, you did everything you can to back me off, and now you're here asking for my help. And you still haven't explained a single thing to me. What this monster is, where it came from, anything. Why? Kane looks taken aback, as if he didn't expect me to be so confrontational. Trust me, it's for your own safety. If you learn more than you should, a lot of people are not going to be happy about it. You wouldn't want you and your sister to get hurt, would you? This is starting to piss me off. I exhaled heavily, feeling anger welling up inside. For my safety? Then why are you here? You're the one who sought me out when I'd almost forgotten this whole thing. I thought if you were going to track the monster on your own, then I could... Well, I'm not anymore, so I don't need your help. I stood up from my chair and walked to the front door and opened it. My voice was firm, without a hint of doubt. I'm not interested in this anymore. Forget I was ever involved. Surprisingly, Kane got up from the couch looking not the least bit offended. In fact, he almost seemed pleased with what I said. Actually, that's not a bad option at all. Have a great stream, make good choices. I'll make terrible choices. I could have used the help, of course, but I'll sleep better knowing you and your sister are far away from all this. And I apologize for bothering you for no reason. I don't get angry often, but I really wasn't expecting that reaction from him. Maybe it's for the best. He walked out the door and gave me one last look. Good luck, Bent. Try to stay out of trouble. You too. I closed the door behind him and let out a sigh of relief. Right after that, Robbie quietly opened the door to the hallway and came out. It was obvious from the worried look on his face that something was wrong. He wore a mask of terror, and his eyes darted around the room. Okay. He quickly raised a finger to his lips, pushing me. I got the hint and shut up immediately, my curiosity giving way to a sense of foreboding. He walked to the door and carefully peeked through the peephole as if worried someone was still out there. Looks like he's really gone. He spoke almost in a whisper, his voice trembling. The atmosphere in the room grew thick and the air heavy and oppressive. Then, what is it? What's happening? He turned back to me, his face alarmed. His gaze was filled with desperation and fear. That guy. The heavy atmosphere in the room made me hold my breath. My heart started to pound like crazy, anticipating something awful. He's the monster. Please, keep your voice down. My heart hammered in my chest and my head spun at his words. My whole world felt like it had been turned upside down. What do you mean? How could it be him? I mean, that's the exact form it took when it tried to trick me. The behavior, the name, it's definitely him. How did it even find you? I didn't know what to say. Had I just been playing chess with death without even realizing it? I had literally been talking to the monster itself about wanting to find it, maybe even kill it. This was worse than any nightmare. I don't know. I just met him on the same street where I saw the creature. So I ran into the monster itself. He was trying to track someone there. Robbie suddenly grew thoughtful, rubbing his chin. Huh. So, there was something on that street that I was interested in. But why? And what wuzzle? What wuzzle? Great vocal reading, by the way. Fairly well. Bye, Mike. And what was it? I have no idea. So, does that mean it was trying to lure me into a trap, just like with you? Yes and no. Patroni, I see you there. Coming in with a subby. Thank you, Patroni. Mwah. It was trying to trap you, yes, but clearly not in the same way it trapped me. I don't know what it wanted from you, but it backed off once you promised you would investigate that monster. So, it wanted to eliminate me as a witness, especially since I told it to its face that I wanted to deal with it. My king. Mwah. It looks that way, even though it seems to have left you alone. We should still hurry. I think that's everything. I tried to pack the most important stuff into the suitcase as fast as I could. It should be enough for now. He slipped a hand on the suitcase lid and nodded, pleased with his work. Thanks for helping. Really? Robbie smiled so brightly for that moment. The panic in the room seemed to fade. Then he handed me my suitcase. Well, at least now you believe me, which means we're a team, right? I managed to smirk, though I could still feel a dull throb of anxiety in my chest. After what I know now, we need to be a team if we're going to survive. But what you said to him about not being sure if you wanted to get involved, don't worry, that wasn't true. Well, part of me does wish I could stay out of it, but something inside is telling me I have to see this through. It's like an itch I can't scratch. Robbie smiled and nudged me with his elbow. Glad to hear you're still on board, Agent Bent. I smiled back at him and wondered if I packed everything I needed. I quickly set the suitcase by the door, then went to the couch and closed the second one. It was a little larger. I packed it with everything we might need to get away. Documents, spare clothes, and food. We need to intercept Haley on our way home from school. Quick, I'll call and tell her not to come home. Robbie nodded, his expression turning serious. Yeah, it's a good idea. I pulled out my phone and as I dialed her number, a strange sense of hopelessness tightened in my chest. It's just, I don't even know where we're going to be going. As the phone rang, it finally hit me just how trapped we really were. We have nowhere else to go, and I don't have the money to get out of the city. I clutched the phone nervously, feeling despair welling up. I had no idea what to tell Haley if she picked up. She's not answering. I tried again. Hey, I can help with that. I looked at him, surprised. How was he supposed to help us? Robbie lowered his voice, as if worried we might be overheard. Like I was saying, I've got a place to hide out. That motel on the edge of town, not many people know about. But, God, almost no. Don't worry about it. I'll pay. We should focus on our next move. Though, to be honest, I already have an idea. Really? What is it? We need to be clever. We'll get you and Haley hidden away, and then in the meantime, I'll... Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Huh. 91%, huh? Not half bad. Looks like we slipped up somewhere, but the system reckons we still more or less landed in the same place. But is what we saw enough for me? I doubt it. Not sure I'm happy with how things turned out, but it's cleanup time. Uploading my favorite system wipe file. Well, we've got the same system wipe. This time it looks like they got a knock on the door before getting out, though. Afraid there's nothing I can get from this one. That bit of memory's tapped out. Best be off and see what else turns up. A remember password button would have been nice. Sick of typing it every single time. Let's just get on with it. Would rather not be that easy to trace. That logo's proper retro. Wonder how many times we've changed it over the years. Shouldn't have opened that. Alright, well I guess we're gonna go back. Funny thing, here we go. Right then. That's us done. Time to clear the trail. Let's hope no one comes poking around this PC anytime soon, huh? No thanks for playing the game? Thanks for playing our game! Well, we're back at that one once again. I might just like... Let's see. Okay, we can go back a little bit further. We can go back to Robbie. Maybe my choice with Robbie will be a big one. Joke endings already? Yeah, exactly. How should I react to this? What was our history? Okay. All right. How do we react? Well, I don't think we're going to be skeptical of it. Perception. We could be perceptive. Controlling, I don't think we're going to be. Anxious is something. Let's see. Because we reacted with empathy and we got somewhere with it. Let's try to be perceptive, huh? Hey. You're a lot more reserved than you were a couple minutes ago. It's like you're embarrassed about something. Is there something you want to say? He looks at me, surprised if he didn't expect me to notice his behavior. Damn, you noticed? Can you tell me what's wrong? You seem all coiled up. He lowers his gaze and holds his breath for a moment, as if steeling himself to something personal. Everything's fine, really. It's just... I feel awkward sitting this close right now. Why? I'm hiding out in a pretty safe space right now, so no one can find me. It's a motel on the edge of town where they don't ask questions or real names. The conditions are tolerable, but the thing is, he trailed off tugging at the hem of his hoodie. There's always a line for the shower, so I often don't get a chance to use it in the morning, just like today. And I think I probably smell bad, which is why I don't want to stand too close to you. You could see how embarrassed he was, even though it seemed like such a trivial thing. I've already come up with a whole list of scary reasons in my head for this weird behavior, but this definitely wasn't one of them. I leaned in a little closer to him. He smelled fine, just deodorant with a fresh, slightly sweet scent. Carrot scented? What are you doing all by yourself, handsome? I'm enjoying this game with all of you. I'm not alone when I'm with all of you. Nah, that's ridiculous. Although, maybe it is? Is it okay to tell a rabbit he smells like carrots? That sounds kind of racist. Okay, wrong train of thought. I think you smell fine, but if you're worried about it, you can use the shower here if you like. He immediately perked up. Really? Oh, that'd be awesome. I haven't been in a real bathroom in probably a couple months. I pointed down the hallway. Of course. The bathroom's right down the hall. You can grab a towel from the cabinet next to it. He looked at me with so much gratitude it started to make me feel a little bit awkward. But as he headed for the bathroom, I remembered something. Hey, wait. Do you have a change of clothes? He stopped and turned slightly surprised. Then again, stupid question. Of course you don't. Hey, it's fine. I'll just put my own clothes back on. It's better than nothing. They aren't that dirty yet. No, that's not gonna work. Go to my room. The second door on the right down the hall. There's a drawer by the bed. Open it and grab whatever you want. Ha! Alright, but... your clothes will probably like a bedsheet on me, but if you insist. He chuckled and disappeared down the hall, pulling the door closed behind him. A bedsheet? I'm not that big. Guess that's fair. Real. Tyson. Aloha, Tyson. I looked down at myself, turning a little to the side. I don't seem fat. I was just starting to open a box of coconut cookies while I waited, when suddenly... there was a knock at the door. I froze, cookie in hand. It's too early for Haley to be home. I walked to the door and looked through the peephole. It was Kane. He looked tense. I hesitated for a second, wondering if I should open it, but turned the handle anyway. He walked right in without so much as a hello. We need to talk. What? About what? I've had time to think, and I've concluded that I should bring you in on my work after all. He gave me a quick, cold look, sizing me up from head to toe. Besides, I'm sure you wouldn't have listened to me and would have kept sniffing around about that monster anyway. But didn't you just try to talk me out of this? I did, but did it work? Maybe? He raised an eyebrow, a hint of a smirk on his lips. Trust me, you don't need to be a mind reader to know you're lying. I'm not lying. I said maybe. Fine. He suddenly leaned forward, peering directly into my face. So you weren't planning on getting involved in this again? Was I supposed to? He sighed and glanced around the room, then just walked past me, plopped down on the couch, and brushed some invisible dust from his pants. After a moment's hesitation, I sat down in my armchair, the one next to the couch. You know, I could actually use your help. I know where to track the monster next. Really? And how do you know that? That's irrelevant. Trust me, I know exactly where this creature will be at all times. What's important is that I would genuinely prefer to have your help with something. He adjusted his tie, looking directly at me. If you're still interested, of course. I leaned on the armrest, fingers clasped. What can I even say to him? Alright, so we're back here again. How can we react to this? Let's go apathetically. You know, I don't think I can handle this type of pressure. This whole thing is really dangerous, isn't it? Yes, extremely. That's why I need to know that you're absolutely certain about your decisions. That's just it. I'm not. I might work late for weeks at a time, but I've never felt exhausted as I have these past couple of days. Kane looked at me with a hint of surprise, as if my words have caught him off guard. So, you really changed your mind about getting involved? I nodded and leaned back in my chair, relaxing slightly. Yeah, I think I just want to drop all of this and just forget it ever happened. Suddenly, I could taste a hint of orange juice in my mouth, even though I haven't had any. A weird feeling, but I couldn't dwell on it right now. Kane abruptly stood up from the couch with a satisfied look on his face, which was a little strange. To be honest, while I could have used your help, I'll sleep better knowing you and your sister are staying far away from this. He walked swiftly to the door. I got up from my chair to see him out. Good luck with that. He opened the door himself and gave me one last look, his gaze unusually soft. Good luck to you too, Bint. Try to stay out of trouble. And the door closed behind him. I let out a deep sigh of relief, feeling a huge weight lift off my shoulders. Right after that, Robbie quietly opened the door to the hallway and came out. It was obvious from the worried look on his face that something was wrong. He wore a mask of terror and his eyes darted around the room. Okay, what's the... He quickly raised a finger to his lips, shushing me. I got the hint and shut up immediately, my curiosity giving way to a sense of foreboding. He walked to the door and carefully peeked through the peephole, as if worried someone was still out there. Looks like he's really gone. He spoke almost in a whisper, his voice trembling. The atmosphere in the room grew thick and the air heavy and oppressive. Then, what is it? What's happening? He turned back to me, his face alarmed. His gaze was filled with desperation and fear. That guy. The heavy atmosphere of the room made me hold my breath. My heart started pounding like crazy, anticipating something awful. He's the monster. What? Please keep your voice down. My heart hammered in my chest, and my head spun at his words. My whole world felt like it had been turned upside down. Well, what do you mean? How could it be him? I mean, that's the exact form it took when it tried to trick me. The behavior, the name. It's definitely him. How did it even find you? I didn't know what to say. Had I just been playing chess with death without even realizing it? I had literally been talking to the monster itself about wanting to find it, maybe even kill it. This is worse than any nightmare. I don't know, I just met him on the same street where I saw that creature. So I ran to the monster itself, and it was trying to track someone there. Robbie suddenly grew thoughtful, rubbing his chin. Huh. So there was something on that street I was interested in, but why, and what was it? I have no idea. So does that mean it's trying to lure me into a trap just like with you? Yes and no. It was trying to trap you, yes, but clearly not in the same way it trapped me. I don't know what it wanted from you, but it backed off once you promised you would investigate that monster. So, it wanted to eliminate me as a witness, especially since I told it to its face that I wanted to deal with it. I know, right, Leo? Looks that way, but even though it seems to have left you alone, we should still hurry. Alright, let's see if we got anything different. If not, I'm going to rewind far back. Whew, that's everything. I tried to pack the most important stuff into the suitcase as fast as I could. It should be enough for now. He slapped a hand on the suitcase lid and nodded, pleased with his work. Clutch, aloha. Thanks for helping, really. Robbie smiled so brightly that for a moment the panic in the room seemed to fade. Then he handed me my suitcase. Well, at least now you believe me, which means we're a team, right? I managed to smirk, though I could still feel a dull throb of anxiety in my chest. After what I know now, we need to be a team if we're going to survive. But what you said to him, about not being sure if you wanted to get involved, don't worry, that wasn't true. Well, part of me does wish I could stay out of it, but something inside is telling me I have to see this through. It's like an itch I can't scratch. Robbie smiled and nudged me with his elbow. Glad to hear you're still on board, Agent Bint. Aloha, Tibby. I smiled back at him and wondered if I packed everything I needed. I quickly set the suitcase by the door, then went on the couch and closed the second one, which was a little bigger. I'd packed with everything we might need to get away. Documents, spare clothes, some food. We need to intercept Haley on our way home from school, quick. I'll call her and tell her not to come home. Robbie nodded, his expression turning serious. Yeah, that's a good idea. I pulled up my phone as I dialed up her number. A strange sense of hopelessness tightened in my chest. It's just, I don't even know where we're going to go. As the phone rang, it finally hit me just how trapped we really were. We have nowhere else to go, and I don't have money to get out of the city. I clutched the phone nervously, feeling despair welling up. I had no idea what to tell Haley if she picked up. She's not answering. I tried again. Hey, I can help with that. I looked at him, surprised. How's he supposed to help us? Robbie lowered his voice as if worried we might be overheard. Like I was saying, I've got a place to hide out. That motel on the edge of town. Not many people know about it. But I've got almost no. Don't worry about it. I'll pay. We should focus on our next move. Though, to be honest, I already have an idea. Really? What is it? We need to be clever. We'll get you and Haley hidden away, and in the meantime, Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. So back here, we are in the right spot. 91% again. Looks like we slipped up somewhere. Interesting, interesting. Right? Let's go back to the main menu. We won't delete the computer this time. Alright. So. Oh, okay. So we did get a taste of oranges by being apathetic here, which is very interesting. I want to see what happens. Maybe we can cause a confrontation between him and Kane. Let's see. Kami, good evening. Hope everyone is well. Doing amazing, really. Let's try edginess. What's wrong? You're not backing out on me, are you? Robbie flinches, his eyes flying wide. What? Why would you say that? You're acting weird all of a sudden, like something put you off. as if you're suddenly disappointing me or having second thoughts. I can't figure out what's going on in your head, and frankly, it's starting to freak me out. He's silent for a second, then quickly shakes his head. No, we're allies now. I'm not going to bail on you just like that. I'm the one who came to you, who suggested all this, but because I really do need help. I stared at him intently. He seems to be sincere. Really? Then what's wrong? Please, don't mind me. I'm just weird sometimes. I let out a breath and nodded. Maybe he really is just like that. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Oh, is that your sister? No, it's too early for her to be back from school. I'll go see who it is. Someone knocked again, more insistently this time, almost nervously. I walked over to the door and looked at the people. Oh, it's Kane. What's he doing here? Could he have been worried? It's that guy I was telling you about. He came here himself, just like you did. Oh, it'll be interesting to meet him. Maybe he'll join our team. Oh, uh-oh. I reached for the lock and opened the door. Kane walked right in, adjusting his tie and quickly scanning the room as if checking to make sure everything was okay. Ah, Bint. I warned you it was dangerous to get involved in this. I frowned, confused about what he was talking about. Sorry, what? You. I turned to Robbie. His face was frozen in sheer terror, as if he'd just seen a ghost. It's him. I took a step back, a cold dread creeping through my veins. What's going on? I turned back. I really should have forgotten what I saw. No, back to the good ending. Okay, so we can't let them see each other. We're all going to be friends, right? That's a 31%. So we're extremely close. We're at 91%. It's just finding the right option. It's about finding the right way to get this to happen. So we can't let them see each other. Okay, let's go back to Kane. So, reacting with apathy, we tasted oranges, which I want to assume is something. So, edginess got us out of it. What if we react with anxiety? Was that Robbie peeking out from behind the door? He scared of who? Kane? Something isn't right. I looked at Kane and realized he might be dangerous, and that I should probably get rid of him. Okay. Say anything. Do anything to make him leave, or else I feel like something bad is going to happen. You know what? I don't want to be a part of this anymore. At all. Kane looked at me with disbelief. Gotta head out. Catch you later, Clutch. What? Really? Yeah, I think this is all too dangerous, and it's better if I just forget all about it. And I'm sorry, but I'd like you to leave now and let me forget all this. He nods and gets up from the couch. You can't really tell from his expression that he's offended. In fact, I even say he looks pleased. Trust me, this isn't a bad option. I could have used the help, of course, but I'll sleep better knowing you and your sister are far away from this. Yeah, I think so too. This is all too much for us. Kane smiled and turned towards the door. Please, just leave, I thought. I don't know what your deal is, but if I trust Robbie even a little, then I should be scared of you too. And to be honest, Kane spun back around to face me. His face was wary, and he was looking right into my eyes. Something's wrong. Why is he looking at me like that? Did he suspect something? But why? He was just about to leave. I feel too much fear in here. Enough for two people. What? What does he mean? He stepped closer abruptly and glanced at the door to the hallway where I knew Robbie was hiding. And then he began to stare right into my soul. I was petrified. Bint, tell me, what are you so afraid of? Do you really have a reason to be right now? What am I supposed to say? Lie and say I'm not scared? But it's obviously written all over me. Should I say I started thinking about the monster again, and that's why I'm on edge? Maybe. What do you know? Okay. Then run! Suddenly, Robbie bolted from the hallway and threw himself against the front door, frantically trying to open it. I rushed over to him. Damn it. What's wrong? Is he dangerous? Should I have stayed away from him? He turned to me, but his eyes were filled with such terror that I felt a chill run down my spine. He was looking past me, over my shoulder. You really shouldn't have. I took a step back, a cold dread creeping through my veins. I turned to follow his gaze. Ah, we're back here again. Alright. So, again, we can't let them run into each other. Okay. Alright. 31%. Ah. Okay. So. I think we'll try control then. What? Did Robbie just peek out the door and get scared by something? I feel like something's wrong. I better get rid of Kane and hear what Robbie has to say. Assuming Kane is someone I shouldn't be dealing with, I should probably turn down his offer smoothly so I don't arouse suspicion. To be honest, I really wasn't interested in all this. I was very curious to find where that monster came from, because it felt like there was something important about it, but... Kane's ear twitched and he watched me with a clear attention, his gaze unwavering. But I've decided you were right. I think I should take your advice and just try to move on, no matter how much this whole thing is tormenting me. I've got my whole life ahead of me, so why should I listen to a smart man like you who's clearly more successful and knows more about this than I do? Kane abruptly stood up from the couch and brushed himself off again, glancing at me. Something like satisfaction flickered across his face. There's no need to suck up quite that hard, but still. He walked close to the door and turned back to me, smiling. Even so, you're making a smart choice. You really should take my advice. Hi, Kane. We love Kane. And while I could have used the help, I'll sleep better knowing you and your sister are staying away from this. He opened the door himself as if eagerly awaiting his own departure. All right. Thanks. Good luck with your work. Good luck to you too, Bint. Try to stay out of trouble. Yeah, I got minked again, and the door closed behind him. I let out a deep sigh of relief, feeling the tension from the last few minutes completely melt away. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward through here. Let's see, because we know everything is fine here. That guy is the monster. Whoa, big reveal. So we're gonna tab through here. Let's see if we got any closer. Because we get to the point, I'll read it. Feel it's everything. I try to pack up the most important stuff into the suitcase. Let's see if we get a knock at the door this time, or if we're gonna actually get out. Alright, and I'll start right here. Robbie smiled and nudged me with his elbow. Glad to hear you're still on board, Agent Bint. I smiled back at him and wondered if I packed everything I needed. I quickly set the suitcase by the door and then went to the couch and closed the second one, which was a little bigger. I'd packed it with everything we need to get away. Documents, spare clothes, some food. We need to intercept Haley on our way home from school. Quick, I'll call her, tell her not to come home. Robbie nodded, his expression turning serious. Yeah, that's a good idea. I pulled out my phone, and as I dialed her number, a strange sense of hopelessness tightened in my chest. It's just... I don't even know where we're gonna go. As the phone rang, it finally hit me just how trapped we really were. We have nowhere else to go, and I don't have the money to get out of the city. I clutched the phone nervously, feeling despair welling up. I had no idea what to tell Haley if she picked up. She's not answering. I tried again. Hey, I can help with that. I looked at him, surprised. How is he supposed to help us? Robbie lowered his voice, as if worried we might be overheard. Like I was saying, I've got a place to hide out. That motel on the edge of town. Not many people know about. But I've almost got no. Don't worry about it. I'll pay. We should focus on our next move, though, to be honest, I already have an idea. Really? What is it? We need to be clever. Look at you and Haley hidden away, and in the meantime Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Okay, this might be a 91% again. 91! What are we doing wrong? We're still in the same spot. We're still in the same area. Okay. Alright, let's try reacting empathetically with Kane. Because I think that's the only option we haven't done. Alright, back to it. Is that Robbie peeking out for me on the door? Afraid of strangers? Huh, but maybe we should join forces with Kane and pool our information. Who knows, something I feel like this might be bad. Kane will probably be a little put off by the idea, given how much he hates sharing secrets, but either way, he's another potential ally, right? Maybe Robbie would even be glad. I think I'm still interested. Oh, I knew you would be. But I think there's someone else here you should meet. Kane gives me a sharp, wary look. What? Someone else is here. Why didn't you tell me? Easy. This person knows about all of this too. Like me, he had a run with the monster. His name is Robbie. Oh. Suddenly, Kane's face contorted into a mask of shock and fury, his features twisting beyond recognition. Run! Suddenly, Robbie bolted from the hallway and threw himself against the front door, frantically trying to open it. I shot up from my chair and rushed over to him. Damn it! What's wrong? Shouldn't I have told him about you? He turned to me, his eyes were filled with such terror. Well, we're gonna get this ending again, aren't we? You really shouldn't have. We're close. We're close. It's just something we're not having. Maybe a card, maybe an emotion that we don't have, that we didn't unlock. 31% again. Okay. I want to go back to the staircase. Let's go back. We can go with Kane. Because remember, this ended well, right? We end up in a stairwell. Decimotes hung in the air, settling gently on the crumbling steps. Through the open doorways, I could see empty, ransacked rooms. Layers of grime, cobwebs in corners, broken furniture strewn about. Okay, wait. Let's see. Is there somewhere else we can go? I have an idea. Let's see. So this is later, right? This was later, yes. Right here. Okay. 12:21, 12:11. Let's go back here. Alright. Let's try this. How many more decisions do I have to make? It's so exhausting because I'm always second guessing everything. Snapping out of it, I figured I should make myself some breakfast first. Hold on. Actually, breakfast can wait. I've got more important things to deal with right now. I remember that I needed to contact one of the guys I met yesterday. I can always eat later, besides I'm not really hungry anyway. Grabbed my smartphone, sat down on the couch, and stared at the screen, feeling paralyzed by indecision. Which one of them should I pick? Robbie looked rattled, desperate even, but despite that, he wasn't trying to hide anything. He told me everything he knew and seemed keen on us being a team. He was about to tell me something else, and I was genuinely curious to know what it was. On the other hand, the main plan boiled down to stabbing a monster with a small knife, not the most promising option. Kane, he seemed more confident and professional from the start. He clearly knew more than what he was letting on, and it looked like he had more thought-out, logical approach. But could I trust him? He had to be holding back information for a reason, right? I threw my head back against the couch and closed my eyes. I had to make a choice, one way or another. But who would it be? Let's see. So, if we choose Kane, we go to the office, and we possibly meet a bad end. But if we make the choice that we don't do anything, and we just get rid of all of it, then that's it. What if we do apathy? I feel like I don't really want to get this deeply involved. Okay, so that would take us back to the other ending. Same way as skepticism. So we'll go back again. Okay. Okay. Empathetically will definitely be anxiety. Okay. See? So we're back here again. We're back here again. Okay, so we have to make a decision between one of two. And I feel like we haven't reached everything we have in the other one. I have an idea. Alright, let's go with Cain. Let's go with Cain and see what we can get. Still, Robbie just seems too unreliable. He seems like a nice guy, but he's too impulsive. Maybe under different circumstances we could have been friends. Alright, so let's call Cain. How can I help you? I felt a flicker of tension. He answered quickly. Hey, it's been... We met yesterday by chance and talked about that thing. Yes, of course. Your timing is perfect. I was about to come see you anyway. Yeah, you were. I frowned slightly. Really? What for? I figured you're going to move forward one way or another, which means you're liable to do something foolish. Am I wrong? His voice was calm, almost relaxed, but at the same time I could detect an undercurrent of focus, as if he was already one step ahead of me in his mind. Well, yeah, basically, I really can't get it out of my head. Which is why I'm going to help you, or rather, I'm going to allow you to help me. Let's put it that way. I froze for a second, processing his words. The way he said it made it sound like I was joining something much bigger than myself. Still, his voice wasn't condescending, just confident, like he had the situation completely under control. I felt a wave of relief. At least he wasn't going to brush me off or tell me to forget this whole thing again. Alright, I'd be happy to help, so what's the plan? You're probably hoping I'll give more details about this monster, correct? That would be nice. Yes, that would be logical, if you're going to help me. In that case, we should meet somewhere. And where would that be? The place where I keep all of my work-related information. We wouldn't want anyone eavesdropping at your apartment, would we? No, I guess not. Although, who would be listening in? Mostly elderly people live on this floor, and a lot of them are hard of hearing. I have to say hello to them multiple times, raising my voice each time. It's doubtful any of them are pressing their ears to my door. Then, let's meet on your street. I'm almost there. Okay, got it. I'll be ready. See you shortly. After that, the line went dead. I put my phone down and exhaled. Everything's happening so fast. So, now I finally found out what this creature is, and why I was seeing it in my nightmares before I ran into it for real. Does it affect people's dreams somehow? Maybe it gives off some kind of aura that makes people fear it before they even met it? I don't get it at all. This monster seems like something supernatural, and who knows what it's capable of. 15 minutes later, I was standing outside my building, nervously glancing around. The street was enveloped in a thick, clammy fog that made the city feel almost deserted. For some reason, I suddenly felt too lazy to go anywhere, but I have to know. I wonder when he'll get here. So we'll go ahead and tab through these again real quick. Okay, so that should be everything. I shivered at a sudden gust of chilly wind and was just about to get my phone out to call Cain when I felt a movement right behind me. Jeez, you nearly scared me. Cain, standing a few steps away, tilted his head, watching my reaction with mild curiosity. Did I? Why is that? You can't just sneak up on people like that. You can give someone a heart attack doing that. Cain just gave a barely perceptible smile. My apologies then. Ready to go. My gaze drifted over to my scooter, parked by the curb. Is it far? Maybe we should take the scooter like yesterday? Cain followed my gaze, and an expression of awkwardness crossed his face. We'd better not. That thing of yours is too conspicuous. And where we're going, it's best not to draw attention. Oh, well, alright. Lead the way then. Cain nodded, turned, and set off without another word, striding confidently down the foggy street. I hurried to follow. When we finally stopped in front of a building I didn't recognize, I could finally catch my breath. We were walking at a brisk pace, and my legs were starting to protest by the end of it. I turned to Cain, hoping for a quick break, but he looked irritated. Damn fog. You don't like the fog? Cain didn't expect me to hear that. He shot me a quick glance before nodding. Yeah, not this kind anyway. I glanced around. Just typical autumn fog, the kind our city gets every year. Damp air, slight heaviness in your lungs, a sleepy feeling. nothing out of the ordinary. What's so special about this kind? I hate the way it smells. All citrus and chemicals. I blinked. The smell of citrus? Focusing on my senses, I took a deep breath. He was right. Amid the usual damp air, there was a faint hint of orange. Faint, almost unnoticeable, but now that I was paying attention, I realized it really was coming from the fog. Had it been the fog all along? Truck-kun got Tibby crazy. That's weird. Orange trees don't grow in this city. Can the fog really smell different? Does it smell different in other places? I've never been outside the city, so... No, it only smells like this here. Anyway, we don't have time for this. Let's go. I'll just noticed the building we stopped in front of. Was it an old police station? Now that I finally had a chance to get a good look, I realized it was much larger than what it seemed from the street. A huge structure hidden just around the corner of a nondescript street. Hydrate, I will. Thank you for the hydrate. Without another word, Kane opened the door and stepped inside. Huh. So, his secret safe house is in here somewhere, but he didn't say whether or not I should leave the door open or close it. So now we shall save here. Last time, we got saved by Robbie. So, empathetically, this might get us into trouble. Let's do it. Maybe Kane just forgot to ask me to close the door. He likes keeping secrets so much, it would probably be weird if he didn't. I stepped inside and pulled the handle. With a nasty screech, it got stuck halfway, the sound echoing through the empty space, but with a little effort, I managed to pull it shut. After making sure it wouldn't swing open on its own, I went to catch up to Kane, whose footsteps had already faded into the depths of the building. Once I was finally inside, I saw Kane headed up the staircase at the far end of the hall. I hurried after him. Yeah, Diokami? We ended up in the stairwell. Dust motes hung in the air, settling gently on the crumbling steps. Through the open doorways, I could see empty, ransacked rooms, layers of grime, cobwebs in the corners, broken furniture strewn about the trash. Definitely abandoned. But why? After climbing to the third floor, Kane stopped in front of the door and without ceremony swung it open. I followed him to what looked like an old police archive. It smelled of dust, damp paper, and mildew, as if the air itself was saturated with memories of forgotten investigation, long and unneeded documents. My eyes swept over the metal shelves overflowing with boxes, folders, and stacks of paper. An old desk and a pair of chairs stood in the corner. Fresh fruit in this abandoned place. Surely not. That must be some kind of mistake. Hello. Hello, Tristan. I see footsteps. And I feel like those are important because they're there when you look at them, right? But there's nothing else here that we checked last time. And I feel like snooping around is going to cause too much. So, let's keep proceeding, shall we? So this is your secret spot? That's right. He started looking through the boxes on the shelves, going through them one by one. Alright. Now, where did I put that box? I brushed a layer of dust from an old chair and sat down carefully, making sure it wouldn't collapse underneath me. So, you decided to hide your things in abandoned archives? Pretty original. He glanced over at me for a moment, then went back to what he was doing. Yeah, it's pretty convenient. Not many people come to this part of town, and some of the abandoned buildings around here, like this one, have a bad reputation. So you can safely store things in here without worrying about some teenager and their friends wandering in and rummaging through your papers. I couldn't help but smirk, thinking of my sister. Sounds like you don't know teenagers very well. So, this building has a bad rap? It's weird that I've never heard about it. Looking around, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Do you know why? Because something happened here a while ago. Something very unpleasant. He stopped rummaging through the boxes and turned to me. There was a wary look in his eyes, as if he was starting to have second thoughts. Is something wrong? Amya, aloha. You said you've lived in the city your whole life. It's strange you don't know anything about this building. Kane tilted his head slightly, his dark eyes studying me with a new expression. You know too much about the things you shouldn't, and too little about the things you should. He said it slowly, emphasizing every word. It made me uneasy. What was he suspecting me of? I think before we get to why we're here, I'm going to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. Alright, fine, I'll answer all of your questions, but only in exchange for some answers from you. Kane studied me, as if weighing whether to continue playing games like he did yesterday. But after a moment, he just gave a casual nod. Fine, it's all the same to me. He sat down at a desk and paused, as if thinking about where to start. So, my first question is, I've noticed you live alone with your sister. Where are your parents? I tensed internally. My heart skipped a beat, then started up again unsteady. I wasn't expecting this line of questioning. More than that, I didn't want to hear it. Our parents are dead. I answered sharply, almost automatically, trying to keep my voice even. But, judging by Kane's expression, my blunt answer clearly wasn't enough. He stared at me expectantly, and I knew I had to go on. I don't really remember the details anymore. We were in a car accident, our whole family. Mom and Dad were in the front, and my sister and I were in the back. Something happened, and the car was completely wrecked. By some miracle, my sister and I survived, but Mom and Dad were gone. Just like that. Kane listened to me with a serious expression and nodded, then let out a small chuckle. I felt a flash of outrage. Was he laughing at the death of my parents? How very unoriginal. They really should change the story every now and then. Alex, aloha. I froze. My outrage quickly turned into confusion. What was he talking about? What story? If you think I'm making this up as a lie to you, no. I know you're telling the truth. He paused for a second, giving me time to process what he said. It's your turn to ask a question. I opened my mouth but couldn't immediately think of what to ask. His words had completely thrown me off, and I lost focus. But after a short pause, a logical question finally came to my mind. So, what's wrong with my parents' death, then? Kane gave a slow smile. Oh, nothing's wrong with it. I'd even say it's perfect. I clenched my fist but kept quiet, letting him continue. No one's going to ask follow-up questions or dig any deeper if you tell them a story like that. Ooh, visual novel? It's a great one. It is aimed to capture. This is a demo for it, as it's not released yet. Very, very, very good tale. A tragic, but typical car accident is one thing. A mysterious murder is another, which raises more questions. My head was spinning. Exactly. Is he implying that my parents' death was staged, arranged by someone? But I was there. I saw it all. Didn't I? But how could my turn to ask a question? I went quiet. He stared at me intently before continuing. Why are you so desperate to get into trouble? I blinked. What? You have a younger sister. Why are you trying so hard to leave her completely alone? A knot of anxiety formed in my stomach. Why would you say that? Kane leaned forward slightly. Answer the question. Why is catching this monster so important to you? I let out a slow breath, trying to compose myself. His questions were too provocative, too blunt. But I couldn't afford to lose my cool. I need to think. I've already thought about it. I'd asked myself the same question. Why am I doing this? And strange enough, only one answer came to mind. I'm doing it for her. Kane tilted his head slightly. Care to explain? I bit my lip. I have this feeling that if I do nothing, then that's when Haley and I will be in real danger, and I can't explain why I feel that way. I just know it. Kane listened to me attentively, then nodded. Let's say, then why don't you just run away with her? We didn't have much money. I have to take a lot of extra shifts, agree to jobs that others would turn down, work longer hours, but even then it's often not enough. We're lucky to have a place to live since we inherited the apartment from our parents, but our situation is far from ideal. I dropped my gaze, even though I tried my best to make sure she never noticed. Kane let out a heavy sigh and hung his head. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? He looked up at me. I'm sorry you feel like you have no other choice. I didn't know what to say. A tense silence filled the room. Then Kane abruptly rose from his chair and looked around. His gaze fell on the desk, specifically on one of the drawers. He walked over, opened it, and pulled out a small black box. He placed the box on the desk and looked at me. Because I don't have any other choice either. Before I can ask what he meant, he jerked the box open and pulled out a gun and pointed it right at me. I recoiled, nearly knocking over my chair. What? Kane let out a calm sigh, but his gaze was unwavering. I truly am sorry for you and for your sister. I hope someone takes care of her. I know I wouldn't have time to react, let alone escape. His finger was already tightening on the trigger, and not exactly a happy ending. You ended up in not exactly great circumstances. 30%. Well, that clearly don't go as I hoped. We ought to give it another go, definitely. Well, I don't think we made it out of that one, did we? Okay. Okay. Well, we have the save right before the door. So definitely, closing the door is not the choice. Leaving the door open, we escape with Robbie. Let's be skeptical of the situation. That was unexpected. This whole game is unexpected. I looked at the door again, then took the building in as a whole. Why would anyone set up a safe house and store important documents in a place that's abandoned? It seems completely illogical. I decided to not think too hard about it and just move forward, following Kane into the unknown. Okay, so we left the door open without even thinking, so we're going to go back. We're going to see what other choices we have here. So, perception means we leave the door open. Empathy means we close the door. Skepticism, we also leave it open. Let's go through anxiety. I mean, we're doing something secret and dangerous, right? What if someone follows us? I definitely have to close the door. Stepped aside and pulled the handle with a nasty screech. Well, that's also closing the door. So, let's go back again. Let's go through our choices, shall we? Edginess. I should probably close this door. Once inside, I gave it a push, and it moved with an irritating screech. It got stuck halfway, though. I gave it a sharp yank, and suddenly, it flew off its hinges and crashed into the ground with a deafening thud, kicking up a cloud of dust. Of course, I better just move on before it just draws any unwanted attention. Well. Interesting. Well, we broke the door. Alright, we'll skip through all this. Grab the orange. Continue on. Alright, so now we should actually get intercepted. We'll skip through here. Let's go. Fast forward noises. Okay, so we have things falling off the shelf. Alright. Everything's good, everything's good. We're having a great time, everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. What could ever possibly happen bad? Nothing bad would happen to us, right? We're good, everything's fine. We're having casual banter and conversation. Okay, alright, here we are. Kane abruptly rose from his chair and looked around. His gaze fell on Death, specifically to one of its drawers. He walked over, opening it, and pulled out a small black box. He placed the box on the desk and looked at me. Because I don't have any other choice either. Before I could ask what he meant, he jerked the box open and pulled out a gun and pointed it right at me. I recoiled, nearly knocking over my chair. What? Kane let out a calm sigh, but his gaze was unwavering. I truly am sorry for you and for your sister. I hope someone takes care of her. I knew I wouldn't have time to react, let alone escape. His finger was already tightening on the trigger, and suddenly a fire extinguisher slammed into him with a resounding clang. Kane was knocked backwards. He collapsed to the floor, blood trickling from his forehead. Is he alive? Possibly. But he's stunned at least. What? What do I do? Let's see. Okay. So. Rescue. Facing through panic right now. Panic's taking over. For a split second, trying to process what just happened. My ears were ringing and my heart was hammering against my ribs. Just then the door creaked open and I caught a flicker of movement. My eyes shot to it and I saw a familiar face. Robbie. He just saved me and now was frantically waving me over, urging me to follow him. I saw his eyes darting between me and Kane's body on the floor, and I knew there was no time to think. What do I do? My eyes fell to the gun on the floor, then to Kane's unconscious form. He tried to kill me. Why? Why did he want to kill me? I don't understand. Taking a deep breath, I walked over to his body. If I leave him like this, he might try again. I have to protect myself. I picked up the gun off the floor and aimed it right at Kane's body. My hands were trembling. My heart hammered in his chest. I have to shoot this. I have to shoot so this never happens again. I have to shoot so I don't get shot. I have to shoot to protect Haley. Mint, we need to run. Robbie was calling out to me, but I couldn't move. My hands felt fused to the gun. It was heavier than it looked. My fingers squeezed the trigger and I can't do it. My whole body is trembling and my grip is weakening. I just can't do it. What? What was that? My heart nearly stopped. I just shot a person. He was a person, right? I thought I saw something. That there was something on his body. The gun is still shaking in my shaking hands. I tried to lower my arms, but the gun slipped from my grasp, clattering loudly as it hit the floor. What do I do now? What? Mad ending. Hi, Neo. Were you a good person, Bint? 33%. No, we clearly wouldn't have done that. We gotta give it another go. Definitely. See, we're definitely in... What? How to get that 100%. Right? We have some funny things that happen along the way. It looks like definitely we're supposed to try to make our escape at the end of it with Robbie, but there's something that we don't have. I love VNs. Is this on Steam? It is, Scales. It is. It is completely for free. The full game is not officially out yet, but this is the demo. But, alright, I think we'll take it from the top. With our knowledge we have now, let's take it from the very beginning and see what we get. Good time to come in, Scales, actually. Here we go. Add to my list then. Perfect. You'll love it. It's really fun. Alright. Here we are. Accessing the virtual interface. My head feels heavy. Like how my thoughts have fused into one sticky mess. All I can think about is a soft bed and my pillow, when I can bury my face and shut my head off. And silence. God, I crave silence. Meanwhile, the dispatcher keeps rambling into my ear, but my brain gave up trying to keep up a while ago. He's saying something about someone quitting again at the worst possible time. I got heavy spoilers just peeking my head in. Oh, don't worry, so as it goes, right? He's saying something about someone quitting again at the worst possible time, and of course, fewer couriers means more deliveries for the rest of us. Business can't stop, even if you're barely staying on your feet. So can you take on a couple of extra orders? Boss is going to bite my head off if we get slammed with bad reviews again for missed deliveries. So I gotta ask every courier to kindly take a couple more stops. How should I react to this? Back to choices, huh? Apathetically. Yeah, okay, sure. Or apathetically, I really don't want to. Apathy. Well, yeah, sure, as long as I'm getting paid overtime for it. Yeah, about that, we'll talk later, alright? What matters now is making sure no one's missing their dinner. So, you got everything? Also shocked you're not saving and loading. I'm one of those crazy people. Yeah, I'm ready. Perfect. This call ends with a beep. I let out a nervous little laugh and lower the phone. Perfect. I want to die. I've had maybe 8 hours of sleep over the past 3 days. I look at the screen for new addresses. My shift officially ends in 5 minutes, but no one cares. Also officially. Sure, all the addresses are at least in the neighborhood, but damn. Every one of these little favors for the company just reminds me I should probably quit before I work myself into an early grave. Maybe I should find something easier. Sign up for Superb Eats, work a flexible hours, or whatever. But they won't hand me a company scooter. And I surely can't afford my own ride right now. Plus, they even give us seasonal uniforms here. Wait, was I just praising my own job? I let out a heavy sigh and rubbed my eyes. Time to get moving. 15 minutes later, I was standing by the store's loading area, picking up a few packed up delivery bags. They weren't all that heavy, just more than you want to deal with at the end of a shift. I held them all in my hands and went on my tail, mentally checking to see if they all fit in the scooter trunk. Somehow, I managed to cram everything into the trunk. Tight fit, but the lid shut with a soft click. Just to be safe, I gave it an extra push. I wasn't fully convinced it would pop open on the first sharp turn. I grabbed my phone, checked the order list, and picked up the closest address. Just 5 minutes away. Small mercies. I got in the scooter, started the engine, took a deep breath, and went on my way. On the road, I noticed the air had gotten considerably colder, and the dampness crept under my clothes relentlessly. It wasn't exactly freezing, but I guess that long, warm autumn in the forecast promise was a bust. Looks like I'll need my winter uniform sooner rather than expected. I gripped the handlebars tighter, trying to stay focused on the road. Soon enough, the first address came into view. Neat and quaint little house with the warm glow radiating from the windows. With a bit of effort, I finally fished the right bag out of the trunk. Nice butt shot, real. Had to dig around a little, pull one bag out, shift another around, but got it in the end. The rest stayed where they were, hopefully. Let out a sharp breath as I got to the door, trying to pull myself together and managed to smile. Wasn't nervous, really, just the kind of fatigue that sticks to your bones. Every move felt like it took more and more effort. I knocked on the door and braced myself for a wait. After a few seconds, footsteps echoed behind the door, slow and steady like the person was in any sort of hurry. Muffled voices drifted through the walls. The first was a woman's, sharp and annoyed. "Corey! Someone's banging on the door again!" "I heard, dear. I ain't deaf yet, no matter how hard you try." "Well, go on then. Tell him it's rude waking folks up at this ungodly hour. Decent people are in bed." That's exactly what I thought, which is why I'm getting to the door. The footsteps grew louder and more certain, then stopped right behind the door. At last, the door creaked open, and there stood an old man. Messy fur, eyes a bit weary, but there was no anger in them. He squinted at me, giving me a once-over from head to toe. For a moment, I thought I might have gotten the wrong house. Looked like no one here was expecting a delivery, but then the man glanced at the bag in my hand and lit up right away. So I'm doing alright, currently recovering from breaking my ass last week. Oh, do get that recovery time. Ah, you're here. If the missus found out I forgot to pick up groceries again, I'd be having hearty meal complaints instead of dinner. How should I react to this? Well, we'll react I get it. It sucks. I handed him the bag and finally worked up the nerve to say something now that I wrapped my head around the whole situation. Good thing you went with delivery, otherwise the dinner would have gotten you heartburn. The man burst out laughing, aloud and genuine at first, but then suddenly caught himself, quickly glancing over his shoulder to check if his wife had heard. He cleared his throat. Right. So, how much do I owe you? I froze for a moment. Actually, you already paid online. All that's left is to take your groceries and make sure everything's there. He frowned and went still, like he was working on some complex equation in his head. Right. But hey, if you're in the mood to spend more money, your delivery guy does accept tips. He looked at me again, serious at first, then suddenly bust out laughing again. No. You're funny, though. He took the bag, giving it a quick peek inside. Alright, thanks. He smiled, shoved something in my hand, and shut the door right after, not giving me a chance to say anything back. There we go. So now thoughts. Thoughts can influence the way we are. So advantages. I opened my hand to see what he gave me. A mint. I sighed and slipped it into my pocket. I felt the tension ease up a bit, then the voices came from behind the door again. So who was it? That's just our neighbor, Donnie, again. He stayed too long at the bar and got the wrong yard. Oh, Donnie. He really needs to quit. Tomorrow I'm telling his wife. And his mother. Wow. Trying to get him killed? Walking away from the yard, I checked my phone and marked the order as done. Just 3 left and then I can head home. Alright, next address isn't far. Maybe if everything goes smoothly, I'll finish up before I pull all my hair out. Who knows, maybe tonight I'll get more than 3 hours of sleep. A nervous chuckle escaped me. You always were a kidder, Bint. I sighed heavily, rubbed my eyes to shake off the fatigue, and climbed back on the scooter. I felt like it got even colder. The engine rumbled quietly. The scooter responded with a light vibration that ran through the handlebars straight into my tired hands. The air tonight smelled so nice, like something familiar. I suddenly wanted to close my eyes for a minute, or just for a second. Damn. A sharp bursting pain suddenly flared deep inside my eyeballs, and for a split second something strange flashed before my eyes. Almost unreal. Like a fragment from one of my nightmares. Good thing I didn't hit the gas. Okay, no big deal. It's all fine. I just need a moment to pull myself together. Alright, reflection phase. Create new traits. Some thoughts will be dead ends. You can't make anything with them, but you'll get to see how Bint reacts to them. They'll be sent off to the Mind Vault, and you can check them out anytime. Every thought you gain outside the reflection phase can be turned into a trait. If you feel like you've discovered everything you could, just hit continue in the corner. Good luck thinking. Alright, so we have advantage in this version. Alright. Influence. Friends. As my friends always say, hey, I do have friends. All my subordinates are my friends. Alright. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm not alone. I've got you and Miss T. Dream. No matter how much I dream, it doesn't bring back my will to live. I wake up just as drained as when I passed out, and the emptiness never leaves. Sometimes I just dream of getting help. Let her have whatever she wants. I envy people who never have to worry about it. Isn't that basically freedom? Risk, huh? I don't think we got risk before. Well, no, we did get Risk. Alright. Tabbing through it, tabbing through it. Composure. Safety. No one's ever really safe. I figured that out a long time ago. Reliability. I try to be reliable. Sometimes I wish I could take a risk, some wild adventure that would turn everything upside down, but I can't. It's not just my life on the line. Resilience. I could call myself resilient, but did I really make it through everything? Maybe I'm not tough, just broken for so long. Maybe I'm just running on momentum. Nostalgia. It's such a weird feeling, sweet and bitter at the same time, just like orange juice. Alright, we're tabbing through it. Nothing. Sometimes nothing really works out, and that's okay, I guess. I'm not fond of pain. Hugely overrated. Why suffer when you can just not? Boop me. Get a boop. Boop. Regret. Regrets for people who actually got to choose something in life. For me, that's a luxury. Alright. Tabbing through. We're tabbing through. Even more anxiety? I'll just explode. My nerves are already stretched to the breaking point like strings. Hope you're doing well, handsome Kip. I'm doing amazing, actually. Hope you're doing incredible today. Work. Real. Burnout. Have anything just enjoy my work right now? I don't even know what I want. Tabbing through, we're tabbing through. Making sure everything works out, right? Alright. I am. I woke up a reasonable time and actually got out of bed within 2 hours. Within half an hour even. That's incredible, actually. Great job. Proud of you for that. It's often hard to get yourself out of bed sometimes, so good job, for real. Responsibility. What do you mean, fail? Is this some sort of bug? This doesn't explain. Sister. I have to look after her. She needs to forget the hell we've been through. That's the only way she'll ever have a real life. The one she actually deserves. Well, yeah, it was part of the reason I wasn't doing well at work. I no longer work, so I don't feel as guilty just laying in bed some days. But it also does make it easier to do so. It's the small freedoms, right? The chance to do what you want to do, and sometimes not having that pressure to do something is a bad thing for us. Because it's, again, very easy to just lose yourself in the bed for a while. I've been guilty of bed rotting one too many times myself. Yeah, you get it. I know. You need a push. Sometimes we need that. Be it work or whatever it is. Or responsibility of some sort. Guilt. No matter how much I go over it, I can't really blame myself. I did everything I could. Strategy. I don't have a plan. Just waiting for something. Some outside force to change my life. Yeah, I know it's dumb. Going through it. We're getting all these linked up. Horrors. We watch horror movies sometimes, but I never thought real life could be much worse. Why do scary things always make your hands go cold? Yes, yes, blood flow, sweat, all that. Must every answer sound like it's nicked from a wiki? Control. I keep losing it, but luckily we're still staying afloat for now. Loquist. Be charming. Talk your way out of anything. Twist people's minds until they're on your side. All for your own good. Eloquence is the most useful trait. Everyone agrees on that. Even the other traits. We're going through it. I don't feel like cold is linked up to anything for us. Let's go through it. Sickness. Cold nightmare. Death. As a kid, you don't even think it's a thing. Then it becomes what you're most afraid of. Though for me, it's not death itself. It's dying before I even get to start living. Okay. I think we're just about getting everything so far. Dependence. Haley and I, we depend on each other. Without her, I've lost all purpose a long time ago. Alright. Let's do a quick little... Let's do a quick little save. There we go. Just have it. Oh, you can see the chains behind them. There you go. Isn't that interesting how that works? Fatigue. So this is where you can see. These are traits. Some traits we haven't even gotten yet. Yeah. So we're missing quite a few traits that we never had through our runs. So I definitely think that's what we need to do. Is focus on getting those traits. Connection and fatigue. Fear. Numbs connection, detachment. Escape. Analysis. Numbness. We don't have analysis at all. Objectivity. Connection, objectivity, communication. See, we don't have any of that. Joke, right? Awkwardness, escape. These are some things that we've never had. Well, let's see what's in the mind vault, shall we? Okay, so these are some that we can just feel. Past. Sometimes I wonder what could have been, but thinking about it just hurts too much. We're gonna get through it. Okay, core traits are set. Let's see here. We're filling it out, as usual. We're going to figure out what we got. Because we're missing quite a lot, that's for sure. Let's see, let's see. What are we feeling over here? Too many thoughts to sort. And that's where it gets kind of crazy. I wonder too, because we went with advantage. I wonder if we are missing something because we went with that. So far, nothing. Kind of crazy. Wow, we've got nothing at all so far. I think that's all we're gonna get. I think we've done everything. Yeah, that's all we got. Alright. Onwards. Thinking about the profits I missed out on. It kind of stings because I know I could have done something. I'm good at talking people up. Feeling a bit better now. Just gotta keep moving. Rolling up to the next delivery, I slowed down and stopped right outside an old house with a long crack running along the facade. Almost every other house had neat flower beds or at least a couple of pots by the door, but here was nothing. Just faded walls, peeling paint on the doorframe, and an empty yard that looked like no one had set foot there in ages. I killed the engine, slowly got off the scooter, and opened the trunk to grab the biggest bag of groceries. I rang the doorbell and waited for a few seconds, but nothing happened. No footsteps, no movement behind the door. Patiently, I rang again. Only then did I catch a faint sound. Someone was slowly approaching the door, but even then it stayed shut. I sighed heavily, gripped the bag a little tighter, and knocked on the door with my hand. A strange noise came from inside, something between a scared squeak and a soft sigh. "Hello? This is your grocery delivery." After a short pause, I heard the sound of a lock, a quiet click, then another one, and a third. King Tanner, aloha. Followed by the clink of a chain. The door slowly, almost reluctantly, opened just a crack. Eyes peeked out from the gap. "You scared me." "How?" "You could have been anyone. You kept ringing the bell so insistently, I thought maybe you were some kind of villain or maniac." "But didn't you order a delivery for this time?" "I did, but what's that got to do with anything?" I had nothing to say to that. I squeezed the grocery bag a little tighter and carefully held it out. The shadow in the doorway twitched and quickly stepped back, wary of my movements. "Here's your order. Thanks for choosing Fast Delicious." From the darkness, a pair of slender hands slowly reached out. The fingers trembled slightly, but they took the order anyway. "How are you? Doing really good, actually." "Thanks. By the way, are there still a lot of people out there?" "Right now? This late?" "No, in general. There's just way too many people on these streets, just wandering back and forth, wearing fake faces. So annoying." Alright, now we're going to start new saves. There we go, see? Alright. How do we react? Let's see, let's see. Let's be anxious with them. People are just creepy. You can't really expect anything good from them. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised nothing weird's happened to me today, but hey, it's probably just a matter of time. Dark silhouette and doorway leaned forward a bit, like they were sizing me up through the dim light. I could feel their eyes on me. Huh. Never thought someone like you could get me. I sighed hard, frowning a bit. What the hell did they mean by that? Someone like me? What's that supposed to mean? They shrugged, tilting their heads sideways, like they were checking me out from a different angle. "Well, you're kinda handsome. I bet everyone's always clinging to you, smiling, looking for reasons to talk. But you still don't like the attention? That's weird." His words threw me off a bit. This is some kind of weird joke? Feels like I'm more of a walking corpse than handsome. And I haven't been into the gym in ages. No time, no energy, just trying to survive. And the only ones trying to talk to me are annoying clients. Sorry, I gotta go. I got a couple more deliveries. Just as I was about to turn and leave, they suddenly twitched forward, lightly touched my shoulder, and quickly stepped back. "Wait!" I stopped and turned around. They looked nervous. I gotta check something important. They looked down. "So, How can I help? Actually, I'm afraid. They trailed off, not just finishing the sentence like they were thinking over. I'm no shrink, but hey, gotta keep that app rating up. Are you scared of something again? No, I'm afraid you forgot to put my barbecue sauce in. Pretty sure I ordered it. Seriously? Sauce? I glanced down at the bag they were holding. I'm sure I put it in there. Ah, there it is. Buried deep at the bottom of the bag. Though the pack feels kind of light. You didn't take a sip before handing it over, right? What? Oh, of course not. And who even drinks barbecue sauce anyways? Or any other sauce? He stared at me like I just said something completely insane. Weird question. Who doesn't drink it? What else are you supposed to do with it? I barely had back a loud sigh. I seriously need a day off. First time I met someone who doesn't like barbecue sauce. No, I like it. It's just... anyway, it doesn't matter. I have to go. Please order from Fast Delicious again. But better not. You're weird as hell. Nobody told you that? Alright, good luck. You'll need it, weirdo. Before I could say anything, the door slammed shut. Yikes. Turning back to my scooter, I suddenly noticed the fog rolling in. Pretty thick fog. I'm sure it wasn't there just a moment ago. Weird. I checked the forecast this morning. The app said it'd be sunny all week. So after watching some online casino ad with a bunch of hot girls promising easy money, all I got was a lie. It would really suck to get caught up in the surprise rain and catch a cold now. I pulled out my phone and marked the order as done. Figured I'd check the weather again too. Thick fog, real. After 30 seconds of waiting, the same message popped up about perfect fall weather, clear 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That is way colder than 60 degrees right now. I yawned deeply, feeling exhaustion hit hard, then got back on my scooter and checked the next delivery address. The next order just headed to the main residential area, the same place I live. And the very last address seemed to be nearby too. That cheered me up a bit. At least I won't have to haul across the whole city after my shift. I took a deeper breath of the cool air, checked the bags are still packed tight in the trunk, and hit the gas. 60 is cold. Real. When I reached the second to last address, I realized the road ahead had lost all definition. The fog got so thick, it's like the visibility went to hell. Streetlights barely cut through the haze, turning their glow into blurry blobs. I frowned, breathing in the deep air, when suddenly caught a faint but clear scent of oranges? Maybe one of the bags had fruit packed in it? I glanced down at the order compartment, but froze immediately. It felt like the citrus smell was coming from me? Weird. That's a new one for overwork symptoms. I took a deep breath and pulled out the right bag. I stepped up to the door and raised my hand to knock, but before I knew it, the door suddenly opened on its own. A sweet-looking young woman stood in the doorway, smiling kindly. A small child peeked up from behind her robe. Oh, you're already here. I just saw you through the window. How should I react to this? Here you go. Thanks for choosing Fast Delicious. I handed her the bag and she took it carefully. One glance inside and she turned right to the kid. Look, Mickey, the flour and milk are here. Now we can make pancakes just like you wanted. I think we still have some chocolate syrup somewhere. Yay, pancakes! Well, not quite pancakes yet. The woman laughed and leaned gently towards the child. Now then, Mickey, what do we say to this nice young man who brought our groceries so late at night? The boy looked up at me with wide eyes and took a deep, serious breath. Thank you so much for bringing the ingredients. For the first time all day, a strange but warm feeling spread through me. Was this that work satisfaction thing people always talk about? Anytime. Suddenly the woman reached forward and slipped me something into my hand. Here, this is for you. Thanks again. She gave a small nod and gently closed the door. I looked down. There's a bill in my hand. Whoa, a tip? It was the best moment I had all shift, but deep down all I could feel was bitterness. I walked back to my scooter and shoved the bill into my pocket. I haven't thought about them in so long. Not sure why. Maybe work just drains me too much to think about that kind of stuff. I sighed, sat down on the scooter, and started the engine. One last stop. Just a little more and the day's finally over. I miss them. On the way to my next delivery, I spotted a 24-hour supermarket. It reminded me I needed to buy that chocolate milk with the kitty on the label. Since it was convenient on the way, I figured, why not stop by? I got off the scooter, stretched to loosen up my stiff shoulders, and stepped inside. A quiet, slightly sugary tune was playing there. I felt like it was made to keep people aimlessly wandering through the aisles, lost in their thoughts. The cashier was slouched behind the counter, staring at the monitor like someone already asleep in their mind. Honestly, I had no idea how he hadn't dozed off to that music. I found the right section, grabbed the milk, and pulled out the bill from my pocket, eyeing it under the soft store lights. My mom used to give me exact same amount for pocket money. Back then, it felt like a lot. I could buy almost anything in that tiny shop across the street. I even had a little ritual. First, I'd take forever deciding which candy was absolutely essential to try, and then almost every time, I'd spend all of it on watermelon gum. Funny how my priorities have changed. Coming to the counter, I instinctively weighed off the usual bag question and placed the milk in front of the cashier. Next to him, on the shelf, I spotted some discounted nut bars and, without much thought, grabbed a couple. Good luck out there, brother. I didn't get why he said that at first, but then followed his gaze. He noticed my delivery uniform. Oh, right, thanks. Good luck not falling asleep to that music. Actually, when there's no customers, I switch the music so I don't die out of boredom. But I have to change it back when people show up or my boss gets mad. Maybe headphones would help? Nah, no way. There are cameras in the corners. If they catch me wearing headphones, I get fired immediately. But they don't record audio, so we could be talking about robbing the store right now and no one would care. He quickly scanned all my stuff. Gotcha. Well, good luck to you too. I quickly packed everything up into my backpack and headed for the exit. As I closed the door behind me, I wonder if I should have picked up on anything else. But the moment I stepped outside, the atmosphere in the store changed completely. Yeah, he clearly wasn't joking. Just as I was nearing my scooter, my phone buzzed in my pocket. The sharp ringtone sliced through the silence of the empty street. Haley. I picked up right away. Hey, big bro! What's taking you so long? You at a concert or something? No, no idea how I even start explaining this to her. Sorry, I had to work longer than I planned. Hurry up, please. I found this awesome movie and I've been waiting to watch it with you. I've held off for like 2 whole hours. Wow, 2 whole hours. Yeah, no wonder she's so worked up. Alright, now we're gonna do another save. See, we're saving in between now. How should I react? Let's see. We're not going to be controlling in the situation. If that movie were Zootopia 2, I'd understand. Real answer. We're going to react empathetically. Alright, we'll definitely watch it, promise. You're not going to fall asleep halfway again, right? You'll miss the best parts in the ending as usual. Well, I can't promise that. Oh, by the way, did you get our favorite chocolate milk? I already set out the cups with straws for us. And I had made popcorn in the microwave. It's a bit burnt, but it's still tasty. I already ate a third. Yeah, I got the milk. I just stepped out of the store. I turned my phone screen towards the supermarket to back up my words. Oh, I was at a similar store releasing my friends after school. But there was a rave party there, not heavy metal. Alright, hurry home. I can't wait anymore. I will. Give me 20 minutes and I'll try to be as fast as I can. But if you don't make it, I'll start without you. And without the chocolate milk. Her face was priceless. Alright, then I'm definitely waiting. Bye. I just shook my head and unable to hold back a smile. Finishing the call, I put my phone in my pocket, got on the scooter, and fired up the engine. Rolling up to the last drop-off, I barely noticed the world around me. My head was buzzing from exhaustion, eyelids sticking shut, legs feeling like lead. I checked the address on my phone, looked up, and headed for the door, but suddenly I bumped into something, got pulled back a bit, and there was a passerby right in front of me. Fun date movie, popcorn, chocolate milk, real. A white rabbit, messy fur, and a startled look. He seemed tense. We just stood there, silently staring at each other. Probably should apologize. Sorry, didn't see you there, was in a rush. Oh, yeah, no worries. I smiled to ease the awkwardness, but the guy didn't relax. He's way smaller than me. Maybe he got scared? His gaze suddenly flicked away, ears twitching. Something wrong? He slowly looked me over, sizing me up. You're going to... Suddenly he snapped his head towards the house where I was about to drop off the last package. Hey, have you ever thought about quitting this job? I blinked. That blunt question caught me off guard. I wasn't even sure how to respond. Was he messing with me? Alright, we're doing saves in between now. This is the game we're at now. Alright. So, let's react. So we don't need to be in control of this. I feel like the apathetic approach would be it. Just, I've thought about it plenty of times, but I just don't have a choice. And honestly, I doubt I find anything decent that would actually hire me. I don't have any special skills or anything that stands out. But what's with that question anyways? Rabbit clearly realized he said something wrong. He shrugged awkwardly and looked away. No, sorry, it's just... He looked towards the house again. You just look really tired. Alright, sorry, it's none of my business. I get it. I gotta go. Alright, so let's load. I want to go through the different choices and see what can possibly happen. There we go. I got a different job in mind for me. Maybe I take it. No, I don't even have a job myself. Then what's the point of asking? Trying to be funny? No, sorry. See? Okay. We got the same outcome. Let's see if we get any different outcomes, just to be sure at this point. Because we're in pivotal moments now, and we gotta make sure we get to this game accordingly. Let's react empathetically. I tried not to get offended. Not sure why you'd ask a random delivery guy that, but I can tell you meant it. And you look a bit shaken up. Is there something wrong? Robert clearly realized he said something wrong. He shrugged awkwardly and looked away. No, sorry, it's like really tired. Alright. One more load, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Let's be anxious. Let's be anxious. Is this some kind of secret code? The illusion of choice. That's kind of what you really focus on. What? A code? Like you're a criminal or something and you just mistook me for one of your accomplices? I started glancing around trying to figure out if anyone else was watching me. The whole thing was just too weird. Maybe he was just trying to prank me? Robert clearly realized he said something wrong. He shrugged awkwardly and looked away. No, sorry, it's just... He looked towards the house again. You look really tired. Alright, sorry, it's none of my business. I get it. I gotta go. Before I could say anything, he turned and quickly walked away. I stood there watching him go. What was that even about? Then again... Should I be surprised? I meet so many weirdos a day that I barely notice people's quirks anymore. Took a deep breath, trying to shake off the weird feeling, and knocked as I stepped up to the door. My head was buzzing, and my body was running on autopilot. Maybe I should take the day off, fake being sick, and call in? This job and the constant lack of sleep were driving me insane. I knocked again. Still no one coming to the door. Maybe the customer's just shy, or forgot they even ordered something. That happened earlier today, actually. I was about to knock again when I spotted the doorbell and gave it a press. Nothing. But the lights are on. Someone's got to be home, right? Maybe that weird bunny was the customer. I pulled my phone and dialed the client's number. The ring out code from inside the house. Ring out into the quiet evening. And then somewhere deeper inside I heard a completely different noise. So someone's definitely home. I frowned. Maybe they fell asleep or didn't hear it or just don't want to answer for whatever reason. I raised my hand a lot louder, but then another idea hit me. I could just do what folks in small towns do, shamelessly peek through the windows. I took a step to the side. What? I felt my foot slip into something damp. A chill ran down my spine. I slowly looked down. Blood. A dark, thick puddle spread out on the porch. I froze, unable to move. Blood. Under my soles. It looked real. I swallowed, trying to catch my breath, but the lump in my throat wouldn't go away. What? What happened here? I crouched down slowly, but didn't touch the liquid. That smell was unmistakable. Metallic. Heavy. Sticky. And the worst part, it smelled fresh. Very fresh. Smeared trail stretched out from the puddle, blotching the ground with dark spots and disappearing around the corner of the house. It was uneven, like someone had dragged something heavy, leaving messy streaks in the grass. A shiver ran through me. I should have turned around and left, called the police, done something. But instead, as if hypnotized, I quietly followed the trail of blood, disappearing in the tall grass of the backyard. My heart was pounding hard in my chest. I could feel that something terrible had happened. I walked carefully, barely breathing, afraid to disturb the silence that now hung around me. But as soon as I went a little further, I realized silence is an illusion. A dull, squelching sound was coming from somewhere ahead. The further I moved, the clearer it became. Crunch, squelch, some wet, sticky sound that made my insides turn cold. The wall of the house ended just a few steps ahead. Beyond it, the backyard. I slowly moved forward. Just before the edge, I carefully peeked around the corner. Oh God. Someone's lying there. I froze. My heart skipped a beat. Hard to make out the details, but I'm sure I see on the tile the owner of all that blood. Blood soaked everything around dark patches, and his body laid sprawled in a painful position. Looks like he's still breathing. And a monster, hunched over his body. It was motionless, like it was studying its victim. Smooth, dark, with ragged outlines. Its silhouette looked like a piece of pure darkness. The edges of its forms flickered like smoke, but when I looked closer, I could make out long limbs pinning the poor guy. Squelching came again from the victim. This wounded guy was still alive. He wheezed as he drew air into his lungs, making a wet, guttural sound. This is my chance. What do I do? Quick. We save. That's what we do. Kippy, Electro, hello. Alright. Logoods got us killed last time we tried this. Let's try empathy. Do we feel bad for him? It's the best we can do. God, this guy looks so bad. But it seems he's still alive. I needed to figure out how to help him. I definitely can't just walk away leaving him to his fate. But even if I can distract the monster, how do I quickly get that guy out of here without hurting him? What should I do? I have to do something. The monster is gone. The guy is laying there. I have to do something, right? I don't understand. My body is shaking. My fingers are cramping. It's hard to breathe. Too hard. Maybe it's stupid, but I couldn't just stand there and watch. Slowly, I stepped out from behind the corner, trying to make a sound. Took a step forward, feeling a chill run down my spine with every move. My heart was pounding in my chest. My thoughts tangled. What the hell am I supposed to do? I held my breath and forced myself to move faster. Hey, you! Can you hear me? The guy groaned and tried to get up. Now closer, I saw his face, terrified, sweating, a thin stream of blood trickling from his lips. I will try, but you have to hang on. I quickly examined him. Deep wounds on his side, torn clothes, a pool of blood around him. Without medical help, he's not going to make it. His hands weakly reached out to me. We need to get out. Quickly. I was about to lift him, but suddenly his eyes widened with terror. I turned instinctively and... I fully jumped. I wasn't even watching. That's the way to be. Lethally stupid, irrational ending. Maybe now you start thinking about your own hide first, Spin. 31%. Makes no sense. He'd never do that. We clearly need to run this again. Kinda silly. It's okay. We made a save. Apathy. I couldn't even imagine what I would do in that guy's place. Should I help him? If so, how? I feel unsure if my skin is worth that risk. Looking around a bit, I suddenly noticed a large flower pot. I could use it to stun the monster. But how do I do that? I could try throwing the pot right at the monster from here. I'm sure it wouldn't have time to react, but there's also a higher chance I'll miss and my whole plan falls apart. Or I can get closer and hit it directly with this thing. But can I be quiet enough to stay unnoticed until the strike? It's risky, but maybe a more reliable option. Maybe I can throw a small stone to the side and distract the monster for a few seconds, then quickly approach and hit it on the head with this clay thing. Can't even knock it out with this pot. It's heavy, sure, but is it enough for this creature? Maybe this guy's already doomed and I should leave before it's too late. Too much risk to my life for all this. Why can't I just figure something out? What is this? A pair of eyes was staring right at me. I'm pinned against the wall, trying to reach. You are thinking too loud. End of the lamb. Know your enemy, or they'll get to know you first. Oh, really, Timmy? You got this one? Interesting. Sometimes it's smarter to run away from the wolf. Silly lamb. %. A clay pot? Oh, come off it. He's not a complete idiot. That's not how it went down at all. I remember the capybara mentioned that the clay pot was broken, though. Interesting. Okay, and we'll do one more time of this one. We'll probably get the same outcome where bad things happen, but maybe it's unlikely, but maybe I can somehow negotiate with this monster. Maybe it's something intelligent. Just very cruel and deadly, but intelligent. No. Why do I even think of such stupid options? Negotiate with a monster? But maybe I can distract it somehow. I have some nut bars. Maybe I can toss them over the fence and the monster will go check it out, eat the bar, and die from an allergy? What should I do? I have to do something. The monster is gone and the guy is laying there. I have to do something, right? I don't understand. My body's shaking. My fingers are cramping. It's hard to breathe. Too hard. Maybe it's stupid, but I couldn't just stand there and watch. I slowly stepped out from behind the corner, trying to not make a sound. Took a step forward, feeling a chill run down my spine with every move. My heart was pounding in my chest. My thoughts were tangled. What the hell am I supposed to do? I held my breath and forced myself to move faster. Hey, you. Can you hear me? The guy groaned and tried to get up. Now, closer, I saw his face, terrified, sweating, a thin stream of blood trickling from his lips. I will try, but you have to hang on. I quickly examined him. Deep wounds on his side, torn clothes, a pool of blood around him. Without medical help, he's not going to make it. His hands weakly reached out to me. We need to get out quickly. I was about to lift him, but suddenly his eyes widened with terror. I turned instinctively, and... Okay, so all we can react with is anxiety then. Irrational ending. But we did get a new ending. So, that works. Oh, God. Yeah. Rip. $31. All right. Anxiety. No. I'm not suicidal. That thing notices me. I don't want to die. Fear clenched my throat even tighter. I held my breath, froze for a second, and started backing away. One step, another step. Just don't make a sound. My heart's pounding so loud I swear it's going to give me away. Back in front of the house, I felt a cold sweat running down my back. My heart was racing and my breath was all over the place. Took a few steps and ran without looking back, just forward, straight to the scooter. My numb fingers were trembling as I pulled out the keys. Faster. Faster. I jumped on the seat and turned key in the ignition. The engine roared to life and the wheels took off. I shot onto the road, biting my lip, not caring about the speed or traffic rules. Away. As far away from here as possible. Double check. Let's see, there we go. Alright. After riding for a bit, I slowed down. Not because the road was tough, just didn't want to rush. There was some kind of feeling of control in that slow movement. Through the helmet, all I heard was a steady hum of the scooter. Everything else turned into background noise. City streets, passing cars. I didn't feel like a part of it all. Stopped by the park. A familiar spot 2 blocks from home. Used to come here after shifts just to walk and wind down. I killed the engine, slid off the seat slowly, and eased into a bench without taking off my helmet. I sat there for a minute. What the fuck just happened? My head was full of noise. Thoughts, fear, fatigue, flashing images. I pulled my phone from my pocket. The lit screen still showed the courier app. Last order. It was still not done. For a while, I just stared at those words like maybe they'd vanish if I waited long enough. Eventually, I let out a quiet breath and tapped the button, marking the order as done. I don't know what to do with it. I should call the cops, but what am I going to tell them? That I saw some huge monster with a face literally melting and twisting like in horror movies? That sounds way too unreal, like I'm losing it. If I'm not crazy? Am I even sure what I saw? Everything feels like nonsense, like a bad dream gripping me and won't let go. Lately, I keep having nightmares. Maybe this was some nightmare too? A hallucination? I squeezed my temples, half expecting to squeeze out all that horror, then a breath in, and at that moment, a light wind blew. Cool. Oh my god, kept streaming? Real Helljumper. At first, it seemed normal, but then I caught a smell. A nice smell of orange juice. Weirdly calming me down. I got home. Don't even remember how. Everything just melted into one shaky stream of streetlights, dark alleys, and the dull hum of the engine. As soon as the scooter died by the porch, I didn't immediately know what to do next. Only after a few seconds did my fingers unclench, letting go of the handlebar, and my legs carried my body automatically towards the front door. I rang the doorbell and immediately heard fast footsteps coming closer. That sound sobered me up a bit. I quickly slapped my cheeks to shake off the nervous, scared look on my face. The door swung open. Yay, you're finally home! Her voice was so happy, so normal. I felt like an alien from another world just for a moment. I tried to smile. Yeah, I'm finally home. My voice sounded fake. Too tired for the tone I was trying to pull off, but Haley didn't seem to notice. I stepped inside, and the warmth of the small but cozy apartment wrapped around me like a comfy blanket. It smelled kind of sweet. I took a deep breath and quietly shut the door behind me. The feeling of safety that home usually gave me felt distant this time. Walking further in, I kicked off my shoes and sank into the couch. Didn't even take off my backpack, just flopped down, feeling the tension slowly leave my muscles, but my mind was still noisy. Tired? You're often late, but today we're gone way too long. I couldn't even force myself to look at her, just move my lips trying to find some words. Yeah, there was way more work today, but it's whatever. The lie slipped off my tongue easily. Damn, such annoying idiots. I also had to stay at school longer than I wanted to today. They made me be on duty and clean the classroom. She snorted, crossing her arms, clearly pissed at the world for her misfortunes. She kept talking, and I finally dropped my backpack from my shoulders and turned to face my sister. She was gesturing a lot, eyes lively. Seems like she really waited a long time for me and couldn't stop talking now. And it wasn't even my turn today. Just one girl who didn't show up and she was supposed to be on duty. She sighed, shaking her head. But at least I was paired with one boy, Johnny. She rolled her eyes, and from the change in her voice, I knew I had to listen closer. He's kind of weird to me, but the other girls are all clinging onto him. I nodded, trying to be into it, even though my head was still a mess. I was trying to sort through. What the hell even happened to me today? That guy in the backyard. Could I have saved him? I don't even know anything. And that monster, just the thought of it scares me. Oh, what? I blinked, pulling myself out of my thoughts. Huh? Well, he really creeps me out. Why? Like I said, he stares at me weird sometimes. She sighed and rolled her eyes. Melissa says Johnny has a secret crush on me, and that's why he can't look away. But I don't know, I just think he's a creep, and apparently other girls are into cute creeps like him. She scoffed, but then her eyes narrowed, and her face took an expression of utter disbelief. Did she notice I wasn't really listening? Hey, are you already zoning out? Okay. See, we're saving. We're saving in between now. Let's react. So we went through empathy. Let's go anxiety. We are currently anxious. We could probably talk to her. Maybe I could fall asleep. Although, I'm not sure. My body feels kind of numb. I don't even know if I'll pass out the second I lie down, or if I'll ever be able to sleep again. You're acting strange today. Are you sure you're okay? Well, she looked at me with concern. I straightened up abruptly, realizing I really did feel like I was in a dream. Maybe you're hungry, but just so you know, you can forget about the popcorn. I ate all of it while I was waiting for you. But I can fry up some eggs real quick if you want. I suddenly realized I hadn't eaten in a long time. I had been lost somewhere between a deep exhaustion and primal terror. Alright, so we got eggs again. Let's double check. Let's go back in time. Let's react empathetically. Maybe. Just a little. But I'm really curious to see the movie you picked out since you waited this long for me. I just really need to lie down, or better yet, sprawl out. She looked at me with concern. I straightened up abruptly, realizing I really did feel like I was in a dream. Maybe you're hungry. But just so you know, you can forget about the popcorn. I ate all of it while I was waiting for you. Okay. See? We're going through it. We're going through the choices. Nope. Not ready for bed yet. Actually, I could probably stay up all night watching whatever you got planned. An all-night movie marathon sounds tempting, I admit, but I've got school tomorrow, and you've got work. Besides, I bet you fall asleep the second you lay down on the couch. Well, maybe I'm feeling a little tired. She looked at me with concern. Straightened up abruptly, realizing it really did feel like. Alright. Last choice. To be honest, I'm not even sure what's up with me. I don't feel like doing anything. Don't want to eat. Don't want to talk. Don't even want to take a deep breath. She looked at me with concern. I straightened up abruptly, realizing I didn't really feel like I was in a dream. Maybe you're hungry? Just so I know you can forget about the popcorn. Well, we're still back in the same way. Alright, grabbing a pan from the cupboard. She clearly wasn't wasting any time. The first sounds of sizzling oil soon came from the kitchen. Meanwhile, I sank heavily into the couch and pulled out my smartphone. I can't keep obsessing over this. My brain's going to explode if I don't distract myself. With a muffled sigh, I opened my social media feed and started scrolling mindlessly, trying to relax. Seeing this gets me all wet? That's crazy cool, Tori. California roll, not bad. Jeans in every color and size, now with a butterfly on the butt. Jealous stares guaranteed. Ticket price? Please reply. First concert. I want to go to the concert too. So it lives in your bread, zoomed in under a microscope. If you want to eat bread safely, make sure to wash it thoroughly with soap. Dude, what the hell? Which soap is best for it? Real. Oh god. I really shouldn't be paying this much attention to posts like these. My brain's already overloaded. I've only been to a concert once. I follow these guys. They started their band not too long ago. Haley literally said she wanted new jeans, and these are totally her style. But how much do they cost? Whenever I see sushi rolls, I want to eat, even when I don't. If I were a sushi delivery guy, customers always complain about their rolls being bitten into. Haley drew a cat recently, too. Hers turned out pretty good. I wonder if she wants to be an artist. These mobile gotchas are everywhere. Not interested. Best character, glad I saved up. Whoa, she's hot. It's better to skip ads completely. Real answer. Don't want to be a stereotypical office drone, but relatable. Not going to be dramatic. This is literally my life. I look exactly like this right now. I feel it. Yep, that's the one. She decided to copy Aurora's success. Wait, that's me. If I were a cat, obviously. Wait. Yeah. Huh? Huh? I've set a private screening of this piece. Interesting. I don't know what that's about. Scrolling through posts wasn't very interesting, and was helping get my mind off oppressive thoughts. By the way, find the remote for the TV. I was just looking for it before you got here. Alright, I'll look for it. Finally, a reason to get distracted. It's probably fallen somewhere again. Haley's favorite toy from her childhood. It's worn out, but it's still just important to her. It didn't used to have glasses, which is why it exactly smells like super glue now. Cool as ever, Agent Jeff. He's seen a lot. Alright. Alright. Let's do Isave. Alright. Huh. I think we're going to continue this later on. I'm going to take a chance to get a break in before we have community night tonight. Community night is tonight. We have to be ready for that. I want to make sure that we're ready for that. But let's see. Currently, we do have our lovely Coda and Corbin streaming. I believe we can go hit Corbin with a raid. That would be kind of fun. So, let's see it. Eek. There we go. No, not again. Yes, again. So, Coda's AFK, it's kind of funny. So, let's go ahead and start our raid. We're going to be getting in there. We're going to be visiting our one and only Corbin, Mr. Cliptix himself. Get in there, give him some love, give some support. Catch him there because I'll be there with you guys later tonight for community night to have some fun. I wasn't there last week because I was at MagFest. Coming with a subby. Bye. Thank you and goodbye. But yes, get in there. Give them some love. Give them some support. Give some big love to Corbin. And have some fun. I'm going to take a chance to rest my voice. Maybe do a little bit of art. And then I'll be on later tonight with you guys. So until then, you all have some fun. Be supportive. Work with everybody else. Thank you for the stream. Can't wait to see it. Community night as always. Real answer. I will see you all very soon. Until then, you'll have a lot of fun with Corbin, because I know he'll take good care of you. So, get your asses in there.